yellow guys. So everybody's doing 2025 top 10, top 5, top 15, whatever. So I thought I would also do my own top 10 of the movies that I watched in 2025. I didn't watch, like, I'm not like a professional critic. I don't do this for a living, right? So I missed a lot of movies. Even the new one, the latest Mamuka one, the Kalam Kawal, I couldn't watch. I was in Melbourne when it released, and I prefer watching movies within the week or after. Otherwise, no point because it's going to be there on Netflix or Amazon Prime anyway after 3 4 weeks, right? So I believe it's still running. So, but I don't feel like going and watching it because it's been already like 3 4 weeks now, right? So, of the movies that I watched, I am going to rate them like I've created a top 10, and my taste is not like that of a typical critic or whatever. I like a perfect balance of commercial and realism. I don't like it if it's too real or if it's too commercial, and that pretty much is, I believe, uh, every Tamil audience. We want that perfect balance. So yeah, best of 2025. Let's start from number 10. Just have it in front of me. Coolie. Okay, so Coolie. People have been roasting it left and right, and but I watched it twice in the theaters, just because of the star cast. Nothing else. I do understand lots of flaws are there in the movie. It could have been much better if only he had closed, like, fixed those flaws and the logical flaws in the movie. But just for the music and the star cast, and just for the experience, the cinematic experience, that whole Amir Khan scene towards the end, and uh, Nagarjuna, and I even forgot the name of that Malayalam actor. I'm not very good at names. I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, because of that reason, it's on number 10. I just had to put it in my top 10, and there's no way I'm not putting Coolie in my top 10. I hope Lokesh Kanagaraj comes back with a much better movie. I read somewhere that he's already said something like, I'll try to fix whatever mistakes I made in the previous movie. And I hope, when directors admit their mistakes, it it, it it's good. Like, at least they acknowledge that they didn't do their best, right? It's good. So I'm not a hater. So I hope, I wish Lokesh all the best. I hope he comes back with a really good, much better. And my sincere advice to him would be, have a writer for your movie. Have a dedicated writer for your movie. That's the only way to fix the loopholes or the flaws or the logical errors or whatever. All right, moving on. Number 9. Um, Good, Bad, Ugly. Again, uh, this is one of those movies that I watched the movie as a, like, a wacky, like an awesomely wacky kind of genre. I didn't, if you if you know what the movie is about, right? If you know that you don't come to the theater and don't take this seriously. It's like that's the mindset that I went in and I watched. I wouldn't say I went in expecting that, but 5-10 minutes through the movie, I realized like, okay, this is going to be one of such movies that's like no logic, only magic kind of a movie. But it was there was a lot of swag. There's a lot of high. I'm not a Ajit fan, but I really enjoyed it. The song, the villain, I forgot the name of him. Mm, it was like everything was over the top, but all of that was, I felt it was like deliberate, because this guy Adik Vichandran or whoever, his movies are like that. I remember watching his the previous one, Vishal movie. I forgot the name of that movie. So I believe that's his genre. It's like uber noisy, over the top, typical, magenta rhythm song by this guy DJ Snake. That's, I think, Adik Ravichandran's genre. So I wasn't disappointed. So I really liked it, and of course, I think it was a box office success too. So yeah, I'm happy about that too. Sometimes you need such movies. Sometimes I need such breaks, because I'm really interested in watching like crime thrillers, investigative thrillers, and that kind of stuff. And every once in a while, you need a break and watch a movie like Good, Bad, Ugly. So yeah, that's my number 9. Number 8 is a tie between Dragon and Dude. I put this in the top 10 just for the sake of Pradeep Ranganathan. I think he's like unquestionably like an emerging talent in the Tamil industry, and something about him, his choices, and the way he doesn't take himself seriously in his own movies is very refreshing. And I like his screen presence and his sense of humor, and his over the top reactions, which I also think is probably deliberate. The way he reacts to certain things. I've said this before, and I'll say this again in this video. I believe he's going to be the future superstar of Tamil cinema. I truly believe that he has this je ne sais quoi about him. Uh, yeah, and I don't use that word like very often. Very few people have that je ne sais quoi, right? It's not. Yeah, so that is just for Pradeep Ranganathan, Dragon and Dude. I enjoyed both the movies. Dude a bit more because it was a bit different. I didn't expect the things that I saw in that movie. It was different. Like Dragon, it was okay, but it was fun. But Dude was a bit. It also created a lot of controversy, and because of the whole husband secretly marrying away his wife, that kind of stuff. And honor killing, it deals with subjects like honor killing, and yeah, so a lot of things that I liked in Dude. So I would say Dude a little bit more than Dragon, but for Pradeep Ranganathan's sake. Now, number seven, we have Chava. So I like period movies. I like historical subjects, historical events being made into movies. And this was one of those movies based on Sambhaji, I think, Shivaji's son. It could have been better. It again, it also kind of balanced this commercial versus realism, but it could have definitely been better. There's certain scenes where, like, I thought Vicky Kaushal was doing a lot of shouting, but on the other hand, I liked Akshay Khanna's portrayal of what was I Aurangzeb, I believe. um and his acting, Akshay Khanna's acting kind of elevated this movie to another level. I'm not suggesting that Vicky Kaushal's acting wasn't good, but like he is the main character. Obviously, he's a really good actor and all of that. But I thought he could have, been a bit more subtle, in the way he portrayed his character. Yeah, but that torture scene towards the climax, oh my god, it was horrible, very difficult to watch, disturbing, and to know that this was based on true events, it is even more. Yeah, I I I I, I like to watch more such historical events as movies. So that was what, number nine, eight. So that was number seven, Chava, and number seven. Number six is Retro. Again, see, I'm a Tamil, so I try to watch as many Tamil movies as possible. So I might have missed some really good movies from other languages. Sorry about that. But yeah, you could. I think you would see a lot more Tamil in the list. Only because of the reason that I watched a lot more Tamil movies than other language movies. Not necessarily because these are any better, or compared to the other movies that got released this year. It's only based on whatever I watched in this year. So Retro, I liked Retro. I know people didn't like it that much. I like Surya's portrayal. I like the music, and I'm a fan of Karthik Subbaraj. And this movie, for whatever reason, I felt that there's something more that he was trying to convey, than what was shown on the screen. I'm not able to explain it exactly clearly why, or what. And I like such movies that you try to, what exactly, like, what was that about, what, like, there's something about this movie that says there's something more to it. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the main reasons I like the movie. And music is another main reason. And yeah, it definitely could have been a lot better. I agree with that, but it's number six. So that's why it's at number six. Now, coming to top five. All right. So number five is Dominic and the Lady's Purse. Now, I'm a big fan of, like, detective, investigative thrillers, that genre in like in general. If I could watch back to back, movies, I would prefer it to be of this genre, as opposed to any other genre. So that's my kind of genre. And this didn't disappoint. Mammootty's acting, I know he's like, there's nothing that I've been said about Mamuka that I'm going to say that would be new. But the subtlety in Mamuka's acting in this movie, the nuances, I don't even know how to explain. And this is the movie takes an unexpected turn towards the climax. It was like, whoa, what the fuck? That kind of, I believe it was by Gautam Menon, right? And I have a feeling it has potential to be made into a series, like, it could be a Netflix series, or it could be like chapter 1, chapter 2, that kind of stuff. Like, they could keep on making movies, like, Dominic and this, Dominic and that. I'll never get bored of it. And the fact that it is pretty much like a Sherlock Holmes kind of a genre. If you read Sherlock Holmes books, you understand what I mean. Like, it is exactly. I believe Gautam Menon basically wanted a movie to be made in that genre. So, and he pretty much succeeded in. And I hope he comes back with another part with a lot more budget and with a lot more complex story, because this was a bit straightforward, like, but I felt that it had a potential, so yeah, that's at number 5. Number 4 is Tudaru. Up until sometime May, June, this was probably the best movie that I watched in 2025. But then came a lot many more movies which we are going to see in the top 5. So Tudarum definitely is one of the best that I watched this year. It starts pretty much like Drishyam, but he takes a darker turn towards the climax. I honestly, bikers. I honestly didn't expect that. Like, the kind of, the honor killing and, the ego. That guy, I forgot the name of that guy. That guy was like unbelievable acting. I'm talking about the villain. Mohanlal, of course. And again, it's a beautiful balance of commercial and a little bit of realism. The first half was like really comic, and then suddenly the second half hits you, like, it was like one of those Parithiviran kind of experience, right? Parithiviran, at least this is in this movie, second half is it takes a completely different turn. Parithiviran, the whole movie, and towards the climax, it will hit you. So if I could classify this, I would call this one of those Parithiviran genres. If you have not watched Parithiviran, you should watch it. It's a nice movie. And yeah, Tudarum definitely is one of the best that I watched this year. Um, yeah, number 4. So number three is again a tie between Kantara and Bison. So both the movies I loved equally. Kantara, like, the first part, I really liked it a lot. The second part, I don't know, it was good. It was, but I I still like the first part slightly more than the second part. The second part took it a bit more commercial, I would say, but there's still that kind of balance. It didn't go like really commercial, and also there's this I forgot the name of that prince. Oh my god, I'm so bad at names. The Tulu actor, right? So I think but Devaya, Gulshan Devaya, right? So I think he's underrated. He deserves a lot more roles in movies. I believe he's very selective. I know when it comes to selection, but yeah, Kantara and Bison. Bison, like I'm a fan of Mari Selvaraj. I believe who doesn't, right? Who isn't? Who doesn't like his movies? And kudos to our Dhruv Vikram for putting that much of effort, like almost 2 years, spending living as this character in a village. And as always, Mari Selvaraj movies are about like caste oppression and that kind of stuff. And this movie has that as well. And not to mention that it's not it has it's a kabaddi movie basically, right? So it has some really good kabaddi moments too if you're a sports fan. So yeah, Kantara and Bison at number three. So number two and number one, if you're watching it, guess what my number two and number one is. Like, please mention in the comments. I'm trying to understand if anybody watching has any idea what I'm going to. Uh, okay, 3, 2, 1. Number two is Loka. Now, of all the movies that I watched this year, this is probably the second most that I enjoyed. Right, the first of all, the females superhero thing, and Naslin, and all the comic characters in his flat, and the way Kalyani Priyadarshini carries herself in the movie. She's very subtle, and she's very I don't know what you call it, reserved, stoic, or whatever you want to call it. It's like underplayed, not your typical in your face kind of a superhero that we are so used to watching on Hollywood or Bollywood or whatever. It's a very different kind of superhero, and probably India's first female superhero, I don't know. And again, I wouldn't say the whole genre is like superhero, so I wouldn't call it like a beautiful blend of commercial and yeah, I would say that because it doesn't go too commercial too. Like everything is like as if the directors and whoever the script writers or whoever, they knew exactly where to draw the line, and it wasn't too commercial, and but it wasn't too drama-ish or documentary-ish. There was that's the kind of movies that I prefer and I like as well. So as I mentioned earlier, so Loka definitely, and Kalyani Priyadarshini and Naslin. Um, I kept wondering, like, I've seen this girl somewhere. I've seen this. I'm talking about Kalyani Priyadarshini because I haven't watched a lot of her movies, right? But I kept wondering, this face looks familiar. Where have I seen her? And then the other day I was watching Tallumala. Like I watched a clip of Tallumala, and you're like, oh shit, it's the same girl from Tallumala. Damn. Because when I watched Tallumala, I had no idea who Kalyani Priyadarshini was. I even Tovino Thomas, I had no idea. That was the first. That was the first time I was watching, I believe, Tovino Thomas as well as Kalyani Priyadarshini. I knew that Tovino Thomas was, kind of a known face, big guy in Kerala, but I hadn't watched any of his movies at that point. And ever since I watched Talumala, I became a fan of his, right? But Kalyani, I didn't know. And like from Talumala to Loka, I can see her as choices as well in movies, right? Like they're really, she is very good at like selecting the right script that would suit her, whatever. And Loka, yeah, is a number two. Number one, dun, 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 Durandar. What can I say? I've already watched it twice, and I probably watch it another time if it like not in the theater, but if it comes on Netflix or whatever. But man, this is the kind of thing that I believe every Tamil director is aspiring to achieve. You know, the perfect blend of commercial and a little bit of realism too. Like, if you're going to tell me, yeah, Durandar is not at all realistic. I understand what you mean, but it's not as unrealistic as the other spy movies that we have watched in in Bollywood. That like I'm using that as that those movies as a reference, right? So that definitely there's a little bit of research has gone into like what would happen, what happens, Liari and this and that. So it's not taking the audience for granted, but then again it's not going in the documentary kind of direction either. There's a perfect balance, and I believe this is what like Tamil directors like Lokesh Kanagaraj and the Vetrimarans and all of them, they are trying to achieve. Some succeed, some don't. But I believe Bollywood has has come back with Durandar. I'm not sure if part two is going to be as good as this, because this was really good. I'm not saying this didn't have any flaws, but like I've mentioned that in my previous reaction. If you if you have time, go watch that. But I didn't expect something like this from Bollywood. That's what I would say. So this was like a bit of a shock, an unexpected surprise, and I believe it's already collected like 1,000 crores or something like that. That's a big thing, isn't it? Someone and Akshay Khanna, not to mention Akshay Khanna and Ranveer Singh. Ranveer Singh, I should appreciate the fact that he took a back seat, and because the script demands it, and I have a feeling that part two is going to be a bit more commercial. So that's the reason I'm saying I may not like it as much, but Durandar definitely is the best movie that I watched in 2025 so far, and it's 27th of December. So with that, let's wrap it. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. See you guys in another video. Bye bye.